men are abandoning the Democrats, and Barack Obama.
All praises to the Most High. Fair use, fair use. Copyright disclaimer. Under the Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances is made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Are we recording? Okay. So, we're going to go over some things here. You know what I teach. You know what I teach and what I've been focusing on. And I'm teaching what it means to be free, because our people don't know we're free. If you're keeping the laws and commandments of God, America might be in your country, but you're free. You are not under their dictation no more. Right? And, I hear, you think, General Yohana, he tried to embarrass me. He made a fool out of himself the other day, saying that we are not sovereign citizens. He thought I was talking about to the United States. No, sir. We are not sovereign citizens to the United States because we are not citizens of the United States. Look at the conclusion of the Dred Scott case. That's why they, look at the conclusion. And, we put each other down, the camps and the Israelites. Now we woke and we talking about had something from a black man because he won't read. That's the camp leaders too. They won't read. This stuff is right here in law. They talking about make new laws, make some new laws,
Obama break.
Make some new laws for us. The laws are right here for us. They've already been made. It's already been settled. I want you to look at this video of Kamala Harris. And we think that she's talking crazy when she said, no, I'm not going to do anything, especially for black people. Why? Because she knows black men don't understand why they can say that and get away with it. But if she tells you, then that's going to force us to do what the Most High said do, is to come out from among them. That means their government too. Why would he tell us to gather up and come out from among their customs and everything, knowing that's against their laws? They're not going. He know they're not going to let us do it. Maccabees. When we first got in this country, right now, they're claiming our identity and not going to give it back. They're not going to give it back. They brought all their bastard children into this country. I know y'all don't like that. They brought their bastard children. They did not bring Issachar and none of the northern kingdom in here from down in South America. They did not bring them in. And to prove that, Haiti is the only country that is still dark-skinned, and they definitely will not let them in. And if you are smart enough to watch somebody else's research, that's what this is, research. These videos and all this sociology that we're doing, and anthropology, and all of this psychology work, data that we're collecting on how they think and how we think. That's what these videos are about. And they are volunteering the information to show us how I gotta do this to keep it from cutting off my TV. I got another Fire Stick, program not to show commercials, but I don't have it in. So I got to keep hitting on it. So, but yeah, they're bringing their bastard children here. I know y'all don't like it. But if you look at the videos that these so-called unsaved brothers, got the courage to go down in all of these countries down in South America and find the true Afro people. They're down there. Do you see them trying to hit the border and come up? No, hell no. Why? Because they're glad to see Esau's bastard children leave the country, and they bringing them right up here. And, they know that they ain't going to be able to get in no way. Why? Because the Most High said that no one will deliver us, will buy us back out of slavery. That's what these mulatto, Esau's bastard children, that's what is happening to them now. That's what's happening to them now. I'm going to show you this video, and then I'm going to explain to you why Kamala Harris is saying what she's saying. But first, I want to read something to you to show you that the people that they are bringing in the country and giving jobs and all of this reparation type stuff to, which General Yohana and all these guys say, no, they was with us because they went through the curses too. That's stupid. That's stupid. You can't just go on who's in the ghetto with you. You know what I mean? If that's the case, I'm gonna show you why. I'm just gonna give you some reasoning first before I read it to you in the Bible. So you can get it now and look at it. Matthew 13 and 25. Be looking at it and understanding, get your rebuttal ready. Because the Bible gonna make a fool out of you. Like it's been doing, like I've been trying to tell y'all for the last 7 years. Y'all said, nah, ain't no way. I've been studying this. I've been studying being an Israelite over 30 years. And although I believed
Others, as he calls them,
that the Edomites are not the people of God. I was so much of a Christian that, and I didn't believe that Jesus was Caucasian either. For 30 years, I haven't believed that. Probably all my life. Well, not all my life. Because I was closing my eyes and praying to the white Jesus, just like every other foolish Christian, until God started waking me up, which was over 30 years ago. Okay? So, but what I'm telling you is that these people that they're bringing into this country and giving them is reparations. They're delivering those people out of the countries that they were starving to death down there. Now, everybody down there starving. Why didn't they just give them money like they did Ukraine? It's some black people. It's some so-called dark melanated Israelites in all of those little countries down there. Why didn't they just put together a team, FEMA or somebody go down there and just make sure everybody, send them bulldozers, tractors, send them factories to where they can do some of the work that they giving to nobody but their mulatto people. Because you remember the Orientals, they're mulatto too, right? And I'm gonna tell you somebody else. A whole lot of them people that they got in government all over the world, they're straight Edomites or they're mulatto Edomites. All the government people down in South America are mulatto Edomites, except for Haiti. That's why they don't like Haiti. But what I'm trying to show you is that Kamala Harris and the Europeans, they are following script, the Bible script. They're not delivering Israelites from South America and bringing them across the border. No, they're bringing their bastard children in. Somebody who wants to be identified as European, as Edomites. They know they do. And I'm going to tell you something else. What did they do? They came up here acting just like Edomites. What did the Haitians do? And I'm going to tell you something. The reason why the contrast is, look at the Haitians trying to badmouth the Haitians, but the Haitians up here acting godly. They helping the community. They doing what they're supposed to do. Be a blessing to the nations. They in Springfield. Springfield, I know I got friends in Springfield, Ohio. That was what you call a-hole town. They'll tell you themselves. They say since those Haitians been there,
going to bring them.
Since those Haitians been there, they are looking 100% better as a city. I know Springfield. Now you go through those rolling hills going to Springfield from Dayton. That's where all those Indian mounds are buried. Indians are buried. The real Native Americans are 8 feet tall. That's why they had to dump dirt on them. They really couldn't dig no hole for them. So they just poured dirt on them. And that's how those mounds got there, right? So you can go through that. That's beautiful land. But when you get to Springfield, you think you're in Gary, Indiana or something. Only thing is majority Europeans, right? Okay? So these people know what they're doing. They are not making Bible prophecy out of a lie. The Bible said nobody would save us. And then I was showing that to ISUPK, and General Yohana jumped out. No, they went through slavery just like us. They went through what we went through. Well, I'm going to show you, you're absolutely right. The mulattoes, the European babies that they dumped in our race, they had to go to slavery, and I'm going to show you why. Before I go to the video, I want to show you this because, I want to show you this. Matthew 13:25. But this is red letter. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. What does that mean? And let me read the second verse. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares. Okay? 25 and 26. So Esau dropped his babies in the ghetto. And like he's still doing today. You think he's going to take care of them babies? Especially in slavery. While men slept, we didn't know who we were. Maybe now, and he's still doing it. He get him a black woman, fill her for the babies. I live next door to Edomite and a black woman up in Dayton. They do that all the time. Now they do that all the time. They mix up there all the time. This dude had about 3 babies with the black girl, and he got strung out on coke. Most of them are strung out on drugs, the Edomites. It's a culture shock what the world was happening to them in this world today, because they was planning on growing up to be with white privileges, with stolen privileges. And now their make-believe world has come to an end, right? It's coming to an end. They see it, so they're all strung out. But that's another story. Back to this. I'm going to show you what Kamala has, how they're playing the game, because our Israelites say that all the blacks here in this country was brought here from Africa, right? And they don't look for, they're not helping, they're not giving anybody nothing but indigenous people who say they were here on the land first, because that's who they're going to, why would they, they know, the Edomites know that when they got here, it was over 500 million black natives here. It was over 500 million. The Spanish hadn't got here and corrupted. When did the Northern Kingdom turn white? You say under Alexander the Great? Well, I doubt that, because he didn't come in until 300 BC? He was the Greek kingdom. They left before the Babylonian, before Nebuchadnezzar. They left before Nebuchadnezzar and came over here. And they was here 1,000 years. So you said they were so white over there, so pale over there, that they came over here? The only way that could happen is they all in the northern kingdom had to be whited out. That's the only way it can happen. Because the Bible said he was, even if we did get mixed races, God got rid of the mixed races, right? The Edomites, or the nation's children that was with us coming out of, so we know it's his will that we come back to our bloodline. We're going to get rid of. He's going to get rid of Esau's mulatto children that's among us. He's getting rid of them now. Keep reading Matthew 13 to the end of this parable, and you'll see how he's getting rid of them today. Now, am I saying that all of the mulatto people in this land, let me see. Am I saying that all the mulatto people in this land I'm gonna block this out. This book right here, I'm gonna let that run. This book, I got a booklet here. Let me see. What did it say? American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. Now, I'm going to show you, and we already know who the indigenous people of this land is, right? We know who they are. But this is America's Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. They've already did the study. The problem is, we can't get together in our minds. We're not arguing our case right. And you know they deal with law. You got to be on point. We're not arguing our case right. Why should they let us why should they go ahead and say, okay, well, we can't give just reparations to all the dark-skinned people here in America, and because we got a lot of mulattoes, you got a lot of people, because, we can't just give reparations to so-called Africans, so-called Israelites that we brought here from Africa. Why do they say that? They don't want to give nobody nothing. They ain't going to give none of us nothing. But they're saying, okay, they don't know that America, this land was black when we got here. It was black. I got books up here all over here about 19 explorers wrote books how this land was black. So gorilla, you can't believe none of these people, man. Let's listen to Kamala, and then I'm gonna come back.
You with all that goofy? Yeah. Nah, yeah.
Now, the Democrats and Kamala Harris are in full panic mode. Black men are abandoning the Democrats, and Barack Obama, berating the brothers, as he calls them, isn't going to bring them back. So the V went on the Breakfast Club and talked about reparations before again reminding us she grew up in a middle-class family.
My question to you is, what's your stance on reparations? We all know that America became great, off the backs of free black labor. How progressive are you on making it a priority and righting America's wrongs?
Yes, I am running to be a president for all Americans. That being said, I do have clear eyes about the disparities that exist and the context in which they exist, meaning history, to your point. So my agenda, well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position.
Okay, now, she said reparations got to be studied, right? How should we study? We don't even know where to begin. Now, it's been over 500 years, over 70 years, and we don't even know where to begin at. These people, the people that cause the world to tremble, don't know where to study. Let me tell you something. They've already did the study. I just showed it to you. America's Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, adopted at the third preliminary session held June 15, 2016. The General Assembly recalling the contents of the resolution, AGRES resolution, the AG, look it up, AG RES//RES 2867. This draft America's Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, as well as all previous resolutions. You can look it up. They've already did the studies. How do you think those fake and Native American peoples, that means a bunch of different nations, join together and claim to be, they're mulattoes, they claim to be in the indigenous people, the Native American Indians of this land? When we know Kuimeo, all of the indigenous YouTube groups, Dane Calloway, all of these people have went in and pulled the records and showed you how they made the natives that was left here after they got through scattering them and killing them and fighting them and scattering them all over South America and taking them back across the water. After they got through with that, see down in Brazil, in Rio, was the biggest slave port in the world. Nate and them keep running to West Africa. We still got people over there. Northern, wake them up. But what about the Afro Israelites down in all these, in the backwoods of these countries down here? And then now, it's not really the backwoods, they just secluded to themselves. Let's see, Ace, Check in Effect, and some other people that went down there. They do tours down there, and they found the Africans, the Afro towns in all these countries down here, right? There's two sides in all these countries. You got an Afro side and you got a mulatto side. You got an Edomite mulatto side, and if you light-skinned enough, you can go up there and get a mate. If you're an Israelite, you can go up there and do like they did, continue to turn your children lighter and lighter and lighter by mating with the Edomites. So you're giving the Edomite nation in all those countries down there are bigger than the Israelite nation, the Israelite people down there, right? And so they've already did the study. Recalling, this is the recalling. This is General Assembly, the recalling. The Declaration Rights of the Indigenous People of the Americas, AG, December 79, DEC, I don't know what that is. You can look it up though. It's right here. I pulled it offline. Which reaffirms that progress in promoting and effectively protecting the rights of indigenous. They know what our rights are. Protecting the rights of indigenous. These are God-given rights, by the way. They don't give you rights. These are rights every human got. They know that they violated. That's why they put it in paper. So all the legal system in the United States would have this guideline, and they woke the fake indigenous people up and say, here's what you use. You use this against anybody, any terrorist United States group that try to violate you. This is it right here. Just like the Constitution and the Peace and Friendship Treaty, they all say the same thing. It's human rights. Human rights.
In terms of
human rights, right? Human rights. You can't you can't give people rights. Who are you to give somebody rights when God gave every man dominion over the earth, over his own world? The Israelites preached the same thing as many worlds. And they say, the sea world, whatever, Edomite world. No. Every man is his own world. Estate, his family, his land, his trust. Create your trust, right? And put everything that belongs to you, cover you in that trust. Your land, your people, your kin, your kids are yours. Your kids are yours. They come from you. That's your possession. Your wife, they say your wife is your possession, but they ain't got sense enough to know. I'm talking about the camps now, that your kids are your possession too, according to God and according to law, right? According to the law, the only law that makes sense is the Mosaic law. And it'll tell you that your children are your possession, right? Even with marrying your daughter, they come, what's the purse? They got to come and pay you, pay the father for his daughter. That's your possession. So we're not making sense out here. And that's why I'm, so intense with trying to get people to wake up and understand what the Bible is saying. And get back to what I was talking about at first. Ain't no way the Most High would have told us to gather up, knowing these people is killing us for gathering up and trying to kill us and don't want us to. They know if we gather up and take our identity back, just claim it and gather it as a people, claim and gather, claim our identity and gather up as a people, the Most High will knock them out. He's knocking them out now just for the few of us that's already gathering up. It ain't the whole 1/3 yet. But he's knocking them out with hurricanes, fires, everything, drugs, everything. Insane. They are insane. They can't think right. Look at the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, starting at the first verse. They don't think right. They're not thinking right. They're even more, they're more psychotic in their thinking now than they've ever been. Getting near the end, when you get mad and just start tearing stuff up, ain't that crazy? That's what they're doing now. That's what Kamala Harris is doing. That's what the government is doing. They know their government is falling and they can't govern us no more. They can't have jurisdiction no more. I got 22,570 something subscribers. And whenever I put a video out, do you know I can't get 14 people, barely 14 or 15 people, one or twosies? I got to put it on all the platforms or before I can get, Now, if I put a short out there, they'll let that go. And I'll get about 500 people or something. I was getting thousands. Now they done broke me down because I've become more, I'm able to verse and explain and talk what I'm teaching better. I just jumped out there. When I understood that, I jumped out there. They said, it's a shame that our brothers can't talk, General Johanna. It's a shame that our brothers can't talk no better. I was fumbling. Yeah, I was fumbling. But I knew what I was talking about. This declaration on the rights of indigenous people. Let me read this for you. Recognizing, there they go, they're recognizing, this is page 2, recognizing the vulnerable support provided by the member state, observers state, and the organ agencies and entities of the Organization of American States for the process in the working groups to prepare the draft American Declaration of Rights of Individuals. So they said, rights of indigenous people. So they said they had groups. They put their groups together and, the states, all the states agree. All the 52 states, including Hawaii, agree with these people's rights should be as follows. Because, they're talking about these people they set up as indigenous people, but they're using our situation and reflecting it, projecting it on them to steal our identity here in America. They did it in Israel with those people. Now they're stealing it in. Why did they set them people up like that? To be a focus on who the people of this land is. So what they say they owe these people. Let me read. Recognizing also the importance participation of indigenous people of the Americas in the process of preparing this document. Now they participated in preparing this document. This show you the hijack and the buffoonery. They said it's important that these people, indigenous people, participated with them as they prepared these documents. So evidently they were there, right? Somebody was there, it wasn't us. It wasn't the real indigenous people. So they believe that we should have a say-so in our identity and what our rights is. We should give them a list of what our rights are, and they have to agree that we have the same rights any other person on this earth have. That means you have dominion and you have the right to be free and tell people how to respect you, And, okay, so it said taken into account. They said we should be there with them. But have they ever said, it takes a lot of study and we want y'all to participate so we can get you, before we get reparations, we want to make sure we do what's right for you. We need this. They know they already got the plan already worked out, the rights of indigenous people. And I'm saying it's a document, it covers about 65 pages. 65 pages, right? Okay. It said you must take into account the significant contribution that the indigenous people of America has made to humanity. They know that. They talking about these people, and them people haven't did a damn thing. They didn't suffer 500 years of slavery with labor, working without getting paid for it, without getting paid. They didn't build a country. What the hell did they do in slavery? You show me those Native American Indians, the Northern Kingdom, Gad, was supposed to be scattered. They were supposed to be scattered too. Not only Gad, but all of the 9-10 tribes that came over here, they were scattered. If the Northern Kingdom was pale and mulattoes, how come when we go into Africa, we're looking for dark-skinned people? Nate, you said they took the Northern Kingdom from here and took them back over in Africa, and they still over there. Ain't no mulattoes over there that look like these Native American people here. You can't find one. You can't find not one. How come they didn't take none of the Spanish over there, the Mexicans? You don't see no Mexicans overseas. You don't see them as a big group of people overseas. Now
D. Thompson is a lifelong.
I got to get this. Let me show you. Let me put this in your face again. All right. This is what I'm reading from. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get, right? If you download this, you're going to read it for yourself. It's a big book. It's 64 pages. I downloaded it and I made copies. I'm going to put this up here to where, because I'm going to skip that commercial in a minute. I don't want to really. Okay. About 3 seconds. This is what you're going to get. Okay?
the disparities that exist.
All right. So this is a resolve. This is what they plan to do to help resolve the resolution, to help with the resolution. Adopt the following draft, American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. The United States remain committed to addressing the urgent issues concerning to Indigenous people. They're going to address your urgent issues. One of them is reparations. They know what to do because they done told these people they did it already for them. They gave them land. The reason why they didn't treat them right because they know they ain't the real people. Y'all ought to be glad we set y'all up and y'all over here getting drunk. They up here getting drunk on drugs. Why? Because they are the mulattoes that's taking our identity, and God has destroyed them already. He's destroyed the group of people that call themselves Native Americans, indigenous to this land. Locked us out. They went up there and locked us out. They gave them money and told them to share it with the native, the melanated, the true Israelites. When they took them up north here in North America, took them up in Canada and all of that, they gave them money. And they said, don't share it with the black Indians that's been with y'all all this time. That show you how they know not to ever give the Israelites. That's why God said they ain't going to give you nothing. Because they make sure that they don't deliver you. Because the Bible says it's all right to do. And I'm going to tell you something else. These people read the Bible. In every way that God said I'm not accepting them, they're not my people. Hey, Israelites are special. My people, Israelites, are special. The nations are nothing. That's why they treat us like that, because they read that in the Bible. They know. They know how God looks at them, and everything they doing to us is what they say God did to them. Read the Wisdom of Solomon. Read the Wisdom of Solomon. General, you read that. You still didn't get it. General Yohana. Okay? The United States remain committed to addressing the urgent issues concerning the indigenous people across the Americas, including combating societal discrimination against indigenous people. They know society discriminates against us. Now, they're talking about us, but they're holding, like they did, that picture of the beast, the image of the beast. They're holding the image of the beast, their bastard children, in front of the world, saying, these are the indigenous people to this land. When we have all the books and all the proof that the Edomites wasn't over here before Columbus and the America Vespucci. They wasn't here. They didn't get over here and to corrupt Mexico until after the Renaissance started taking place. These people were black here. These people were melanated. This was the Northern Kingdom. They've been here a year. They've been here 1,000 years. They had got rid of all of those. What the Most High was talking about, the Northern Kingdom, they didn't turn pale before they got here. What he was talking about is that our people were going to have babies by them. That's the only way the Northern Kingdom can be pale. Not the enemy came and sowed seed while men slept. We just read it in Matthew. Men came and sowed seed among them and left them there. Left their babies with us in the ghetto. They are not the Northern Kingdom. His babies, the Terrors, are not the Northern Kingdom. But when the Seminole Indians, the runaway slaves, and the reconstructed, the Indians that they made, call them, don't call yourself no Indian, don't use your tribal name no more. That land that you had under your tribal name, we taking all of that and we make y'all classify yourself as Negroes now. Y'all totally ignore that. That show you that Gorilla and General and them, they not for. Now, Nate don't teach that. Nate don't teach that.
You know, off the bat.
Nate don't teach that, right? He teaches, he teach that the original people were dark here. And we know how the Mexicans got white, because they didn't have nothing to do with their black ancestors. And they went and had the white Esau's babies so they could make their race better, so they could fit in the colonizer's society better and get farther ahead. It worked. Look at them now. They're coming across the border, getting everything. In the last day, the Bible said, what we just read in Matthew, He's going to gather them up for the fire. He said, don't mess with them. So they stayed down there in Mexico, all them places that they running from now. They was down there in power over them black people. I'm going to tell you. They was down there in power over them Afro-Americans, Afro-Natives, Israelites. They were in power over them. So they first pick, they got them, brought them up. Why? They want to reinforce their numbers. We know what's going on. They not having babies. They dying faster than they repopulate. And especially with all these tragedies that's happening, the Most High is wiping them off this land. So we see, now I'm not going to read this whole thing. I want y'all to go download this and you'll see General Yohana. Y'all won't have to take General Yohana and Gorillas. Them. Let me tell you something. If I talked about my mother and her family, like Gorilla talk about white people, she'll spit in my face if I try to sit down at her table. You think that man is why you think he's trying to say everybody over here, he loved the Mexicans and he growed up with them and he can't go sit and be friends with his mother. You know what it means for your mother to hate you? He has to, okay, I'm saying this, he gotta have an excuse, Mom. I say this, but really, that he has to say that all of the lights, everybody in America was pale and white when they brought the only dark skinned people was his, the people they brought off the boat. That's what they teach. And it's 4 or 5 and a whole lot of other ones that got white mothers in his group in Sakari. They got white mothers. Some of them might even have white fathers, just Cleveland. And so there's no way they're going to spit in their mother's face like that. So they come and say all of the people that was here, they give the land to the white, to the pale face, to the mulattoes. Now that makes mama feel a little better, right? And he ain't walking up to his mother and say, you a dog. God gonna kill you and put you in slavery. He gonna kill you. He ain't talking to his mother like that. He's a fool if he is. God didn't tell you to talk to your mulatto mothers like that, your Edomite mothers like that. He didn't tell you. So they're not doing it. I'm just saying they're not doing that. So what better way to reassure your mother that you don't hate her is you bring all of the mulattoes and set them up front and say, this is their land, niggas was brought here, right? That's what's happening. That's what I'm trying to show y'all what's happening. So I'm going to read, let's see, did I read that? Let me see. Canada reiterates its commitment to renew relationship with the indigenous people. See what I mean? See how they setting this up with the indigenous people based on recognition of rights. You're right. They know they took our rights. When did they take these people's rights? These mulatto, so-called Native American people. They ain't took no rights from them. They ain't never had no rights in this land. This was our land. They didn't take them people's rights. They've never taken their rights. They've always set them up to steal privileges from us and gave them our reparations. Just like they're giving their other bastard children our reparations now, General Yohana and all of them talking about, no, they was in slavery with us. You damn right. Jesus said they would be. He said that they going to drop them babies off on us and they going to be in slavery with us. Right? I wish I could get one of them videos for you now. I wish I could get one of them videos for you now. But, you know, you got all kind of people, you know, all kind of people is telling us what happened. It's in the Library of Congress. It's in the Library of Congress how they reconstructed and reassigned the Indians to be Negroes. So you know what? So General Yohana, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Gorilla. Nate, you teach it right. But thanks a lot, all you younger dudes that's coming up talking about they brought us over here. Judah. Nigga, everybody was dark skinned. You don't even know if you Judah or not, nigga. You might be Gad. Or you could be somebody else. You could be one of the other tribes. They didn't take everybody off the land. They left some. They took the babies and scattered them all around America. So you don't know what, you know what I mean? They had the Northern Kingdom in captivity here. And they took their babies and sold them everywhere. So you don't know what they done produced. So, you know, we know that Judah is out there hustling the most. But Gad was a bad tribe too. They was tough too. They didn't get destroyed. They gonna say kill all of Gad? You saying they killed all of Gad? I thought all the people that God created were still here. So Gad is still on this land. And that is not them people they got standing up posing as Gad. We got to figure this thing out. But that's why Kamala Harris know the rights of indigenous people. Y'all ain't just figured out that they already done did the damn study right here. It's in your face. It's right here. I'm gonna get on there this week and just teach out of this and show you all the articles. There's 25, I think it's 25 articles here. Let me see how many articles. That's 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 articles to what our rights are and what they okay, let me just read this. This is the right to cultural identity and integrity. Indigenous people have the right to their own culture, identity, and integrity, to their own cultural heritage. And Kamala Harris, that's why she said, I'm gonna give y'all the rights. I'm gonna legalize weed. We already got the rights to our heritage. Let me show you. Where the tangible or intangible, including historical, architectural, that's land that they in right now, that was already down in Springfield, them rolling farms down there. Every place that's got cities and near water, near bodies of water, that's where the Indians were. That's where the Northern Kingdom were. They did the same thing they doing now. You thrive off the water, so every river, every water, that's where they were located. Every town that they already had cut the trees down and started building town, you think they went in the forest and cut them trees down? No. They used the towns that was already here when they got here. Because they're saying that there was their culture, heritage, tangibles, intangibles, historical, ancestry, heritage. That's land. That's land. That's the only thing you can be talking about, land. And the protection, preservation, maintenance, they got to protect us, and they supposed to protect us and do maintenance on our lands. All them businesses and houses, all our houses deteriorated. They took our houses, took our businesses. Did they help us maintain them? No, they took them and destroyed them. and development. They're supposed to help us develop our communities according to them and us. And you know what they knew what we needed, all right? Because the indigenous people of this land didn't have all this stuff. The people they say that was Native American, they didn't have nothing here. Everything they found here was black owned, okay? They said their culture, heritage, for their collective continuality, and that their members and of their members, and so as to transmit that heritage to future generations. So in other words, now they can't do it. What was that? Jeremiah 17 and 5-4. We shall lose our heritage. We ain't gonna get that back. That ain't the Native Americans of the land. That ain't God. They got their heritage back. We ain't gonna get that back till Jesus comes. The Northern Kingdom, the Native Americans of this land, they got their heritage back. They got land. They paid them reparations. That ain't us. So is the Mexicans. Mexicans got land. They got businesses. They set them up. Did they set us up in businesses? No. Did they set us up in businesses? No. They never did. Christ took care of us. The Most High took care of us. Right? So that ain't us. Those people that they setting up in General and Nate and Gorilla and them, that ain't us, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, that ain't us. But they know that they took this from us and what they owed us. They said for future generations. They said they can't even. They saying the Native Americans, we took their heritage and they ain't got nothing to leave their kids. Talking to my son today, and it was, we just talking about some stuff. Talking about what I'm gonna leave to each one of them if And he like, man, I ain't never had nobody say they leave me nothing. If it wasn't for the Lord, I couldn't leave you nothing either. Because I retired, I didn't have nothing. The Most High gave me all this after I retired. Okay, future generations. I told my son, we slaves, we didn't have nothing to give you. Didn't nobody give me nothing. We didn't have nothing. They took everything. What the hell? And then Article, 13, Clause 2. States shall provide redress through effective mechanisms. The states supposed to help everybody in their state black to set us up, set our communities back up better than theirs. Mechanisms, which may include resolution developments in conjunction with indigenous people with respect to their culture, intellectual, religious, and spiritual properties taken without their fees. No fees. No, free. Taken without their free, prior, and informed consent or in violation of their laws, tradition, and custom. We got our own laws. They understand that. They said these people, they got their own laws. We got to help them set themselves back up. This is the indigenous people. They know the people that they claiming to be the indigenous people are not the indigenous people. They are talking about us and we don't even know it. So they know what they already did to study. Let me read a little bit about the education, what they say about our education. Indigenous people and individuals, particularly indigenous children, have the right to all levels, form, and education without discrimination. What's that? Woke culture. Critical race theory. They say don't even talk about what we lost. Now, that's against this right here. That's against the law that they made right here. They ain't saving us. They know what, they already did the study. It's right here. They know what they owe us. They know how to give it to us. They know what's right. But they ain't going to save us. Right? We got to save ourselves. And let me see. States and indigenous people, in keeping with the principles of equality of opportunity, they took all of our opportunity away. And they even took those, when we was learning trades in high school. I learned plumbing, mechanics, everything. How to do plumbing, electric, everything in Tech High School. It was one of those kind of colleges, trade school, high school. They took all of that out of the high schools, even out of the jails. You can use it. And you know, I made a beautiful living off of remodeling and building and remodeling, just from what I learned out of high school. I ran my business all my life. Couldn't build a house from the ground up, including the plumbing and electricity. I could do it all. The indigenous people, let me say, despite the disparities in education between indigenous people and non-indigenous people. Okay, you see what it's saying? Critical race theory. Okay, so what? They said you can't interfere with them learning, getting their culture back and all of that. You're not indigenous to these people, to this land and to these people. You can't interfere. You can't have white privileges when we know they have the privileges of the land, the indigenous privileges. How the hell you going to have white privileges when the rights of indigenous people, this article said that you can't interfere with their privileges. You can't jump up and say, I got privileges you ain't got. No, you ain't got no damn privileges over here. God fixing to show you when he wipe you off this damn land. This place is firewood. The indigenous people have the right to establish and control their education system and institutions, providing education in their own language in a manner appropriate to their culture and method and teaching. The states, in conjunction with indigenous people, shall take effective measures to enable indigenous individuals living outside their communities, particular children, to have access to education in their own language. Okay, I read that. All right. The spirituality, it talks about spirituality in here. It talks about indigenous families. Okay. I'm just going to read through the titles. It talks about your health. Indigenous people have the collective and individual right to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of physical and mental and spiritual health. They're killing us in the hospitals. Our women can't go to have a baby without dying or the baby dying. Medicine. We're supposed to be making our own medicine. We ain't supposed to have to go, they ain't supposed to be making biological medicine, weapons out of our food and everything. They ain't supposed to have no control of our food. They ain't supposed to be providing food for everybody. They were supposed to set our communities up where we could grow our own food. You got me? They were supposed to set our communities up where we can grow our own food, right? You see this clown here? Right? It says states, let me see. Indigenous people have the right to their own health system as well as the protection of their vital medicinal plants. Protection of their medicinal plants. They ain't CBD medicinal. Don't we have a right to what she says she gonna legalize? It's already legalized. You just saying we ain't the people. It's already legalized. Our medicine and medicinal plant. We taught y'all the medicine. Y'all, Hotep ain't, was it Hotep? Yeah, Hotep is the head of medicine. Not that dude that was crushing babies' heads, pulling them out of the womb and operating and working on women without giving them anesthesia. Right? it says, states shall take measure to prevent and prohibit indigenous people to prevent and prohibit indigenous people and individuals from being subjects of research programs. How many research? They research us, they practicing on us all the time, man. They practicing. The doctors, what the doctor do? What the doctor have? A practice. He don't know a damn thing. He using us as crash dummies, guinea pigs, and everything. It said the subjects of research program. It's an individual. It said protect them, individual people. States should take measures to prevent prohibited individual people, indigenous people and individuals from being indigenous people and individuals, whether it's as a group or they come in as one. That's the way I'm gonna look at it. I don't know what they mean. People and individuals from being subjects of the research program, biological medicine and experimentation and sterilization without their free priority and informed consent. Informed consent means you got to know what this the side effects are, right? Do they tell you? No, they just sell you medicine and put the side effects in secret. Biological sterilization. Sterilization means that's what they did to them women. They sterilized them around the same time they was giving our men syphilis. They were sterilizing our women too. I remember that. They was clipping their tubes, as well as they was clipping the men too. And they would stick your finger up your butt and crush your prostate. They was doing that, especially men that went to prison and to the military. They would crush their prostate. And you're going to end up dying of prostate cancer. Okay. I can look that up, YouTube. Just in case you want to try to say that I don't know what I'm talking about, I can look that up. We can look that up right now. So don't come with no funny shit. Or else they wouldn't even have it mentioned it in here. They wouldn't have mentioned it in this declaration if it wasn't happening. You're just going to mention something out of their imaginary. Oh, what if this happened? Oh, what if they start experimenting on indigenous people and so they can make better medicine for us? It already happened. Germany, it happened. It happened. It happened. While we were slaves, they were... I can look it up. I got the receipts. Okay. Experimental and sterilization was out there. Okay. Likewise, indigenous people and individuals. What are they talking about? Indigenous and individuals. See what I mean? See what I mean? That's just in case you happen to realize, okay, like Dane Calloway and all the group, people, so many people here say, I'm Native American. I was here. My people was here first. The dumb Israelite camp leaders will argue you down if you say, when you start talking about being indigenous to this land and you was here, they didn't bring you here. They get mad as hell. You black as me, they did bring you, dummy. Shut up. You stealing our land and giving it to gorilla and them's mama. Okay? Without their fees. Okay. Likewise, individuals have the right as appropriate to access their own data, medical records, and documents. See, I told you, we can file lawsuits. We can get all the medical records. We don't have nobody to study, though. Now we got black people in the medical field and everything can help us put these lawsuits together and help us get our nation away from these people. They got too much, we keeping the law. Ain't no way we supposed to be scared. Ain't no way we supposed to be walking around here scared of the Edomites, man. We keeping the law, man. General, you so scared. I don't know if you scared or you just enjoying Esau's kingdom so much. Because it's plain as day, man. This stuff is here. You got some good guys in your group that can study this stuff and help you put it together. Once we start putting these lawsuits on them, we might not be sovereign and ruling in their kingdom. But once we start hitting them with these lawsuits, they're going to say, get away. Y'all are not our people. You are the people of the Most High God. You was here when we got here. We don't owe you nothing. Leave us alone. Stop suing us. We hit them with lawsuits in every state and every county because they are violating all of this. Every state. This says that the state has the responsibility because they have came and created imaginary territory and say they have jurisdiction over it. So they have kept us in their hands. What the Bible said, He's going to find us in their hands. We're going to be in their hands. Even when we come out and gather and get away from them, and the Most High have to protect us and feed us because they're going to that's cutting all our water, our food. They're going to do that anyway. We should already be gathered and ready for this. As a matter of fact, we should force them to push us away by saying, y'all owe us this, y'all owe us this. This is us right here in this paper. Y'all already did the research. It's right here. And then it's the same thing. You know why? You know why they won't use this for us? Because we haven't claimed this land. We haven't claimed to be these indigenous people here. We say, oh no, they took all of us, all the northern kingdom back to Africa. When the northern kingdom got here, they first got here 1,000 or so years ago, they spread it themselves over them lands. So the Englishmen, they conquered America, North America. Now the French, the Portuguese, and all them people, Russia, and all of them went down in South America. They came here and took slaves down there to get the sugar cane, the tobacco, and the gold, and the pearls. They took them down there. Because if not, Columbus wouldn't have never left. If it was people down there when he got here, he wouldn't have left from down there. Why would he leave? If there's already people there, he'd befriend them the same way. No, he couldn't go to somebody's land and make them go to work like that. It was going to be the same scenario. They was going to have to fight, kill, and everything, and get killed like they did in this North America up here to conquer it and be shipping people in. They had to kill the people of the land, delete the people, and then ship their own people in. You can't conquer people on their own land unless you move them out of everywhere you move them, you got to immediately rush your people in, land grab. That's what that was about. That was the only way they could go take California and all of them places going through there. They were scattered thin after, they got to run in half in this Gatling gun, in this train. But did they do a lot of fighting back? The Northern Kingdom, as the Europeans tried to go west, man, that's where they caught hell at. Now, on the coast, East Coast, those Indians were free over there. I say Indians because, that's who we talking about, Hollywood Indians, but they was black. Well, they showed you everything they did in Hollywood. They didn't have nothing else to go by. Why would they tell you a lie? They was bragging and flossing in Hollywood how they defeated us. They might even added a couple of juicy things with it to make themselves look good. But I'm not gonna hold you. I like to do it live. I like to argue and talk and get other people's ideas on it. We're gonna do some live. I'm gonna get on here. I've been doing a lot of stuff with my family and trying to, when you got family that don't believe, you become the enemy. So once they push you out and don't want to hear no more, then, I'm going to start working more with my Israelite family and my, those 2/3 and 1/3 and anybody that'll listen and help. So we got to gather and come out, even though at the threat of death, which we already living under. We just sitting around with our head in the sand hoping they don't come and get us. But if we came together, we're going to have to do it. He told us to do it. He said it was going to happen. And a big fish is hard to, it's the bigger the fish, the scarier he appears, the people going to be scared of us. They're already scared. But when they see us uniting and not bothering them, then that's going to cause the Edomites and the other nations to cleave to us because they sit up and look, they don't like Trump or Kamala. Nobody do. The only reason they voting for Trump because he think that they're going to make this North America a police state. He thinking they're going to bring, martial law in. But let me tell you something about martial law. They too thin for martial law. Martial law has already happened. And then that ain't going to be but 10 days. And then it's going to be lawlessness and their government, and they are going to have to run underground. Because before they run underground and before all that lawlessness happens, they are going to push us away and say, y'all are the children of the living God. And we're going to be by ourselves, gathered together in every country, gathered together. It's going to be that period. And that's what's about to happen now. Without General Yohana's help, without all his people, without Gorilla and all his people saying America was white when they got here. Yeah, without y'all help, man, God might even have to move y'all with that mess, man. I hope that don't happen. I hope y'all wake up, man. General Yohana, you don't understand it. Put them generals and them men is teaching it. Really, they teaching this. A lot of your groups is teaching this, man. It's teaching civics and how these people that are in government now force their jurisdiction over us. That's why these young men is wrestling the police when they stop them. Because they already know this. All they need us to do is to gather together to help them. And to help them not to fight and get killed. Like you were saying. We can't whoop them like that. But we can gather together like they did marching around Jericho and march around these governments like they marched around Jericho. They're going to push us away, man. And do you know, you call them infiltration, but some of them marches, you're going to have Edomites cleaving. They can't march with you, but they're going to be standing over on the side, and the Edomites ain't going to know whose side they on. That makes us a bigger fish. So all praise to the Most High family. Let me see. Let me get back here. Where was she at? Where was that at? Was it there? Where was that lady at? There she is right there. Let me get back here. Okay. All praises to the Most High. I don't want to show. Well, y'all know where we was at. Right there. Right there. Lefties lose it. Black voters clap back at Kamala. So go watch that video and kind of go over with this video and get it in your spirit. Download the Rights of Indigenous People, Peace and Friendship Treaty. Let me see. Human rights, the rights of humans. The humans in this, the human rights. Everybody. God-given rights. They said that, it's supposed to be, I just want you to download it, get it, so you can see that God already has set the law in place. Everybody has dominion, they're free, and no man has the right to have jurisdiction over no other man. Why you think Jesus wouldn't let them stone that woman they found in adultery? And then, if he do let somebody do something to you, it's because you wicked as hell. I'm talking to the people that have the heart to live right for the Most High. We ain't under them curses no more. God bless you. Let me see.